Hello, this is Charles D. Shell, writer, artist, and general loudmouth. This is the next installment of my Superpowers in the Real World. It's for Regeneration. Sorry for the delay between them, but I was moving and I had a cold. Anyway, Regeneration. Another one of those ubiquitous powers. It really got started, I guess, with Wolverine in the 80s. Essentially, it's you can recover from any wound or illness in amazing time. One of those powers that's sort of lends itself to being low key. It's like I've said before about most superpowers are either I can't be hurt or I hurt you. So this one has a little more leeway to it. Okay, not being able to be hurt and basically impervious to disease. And to be fair, you pretty much have to have both of them because if somebody punches a hole through your guts, an infection spreads, the physical damage might come back, but you die of disease, die of sepsis. Same way with most foreign bodies punching holes in you. If it heals up right away and all the microbes follow you in after the skin seals up, you have problems. So we'll assume that they come together. You're impervious to disease and you can recover from almost any wound in record time. A few careers came to mind. One of them was stuntman. Stuntmen make fairly decent money. I mean, nothing to, not Fortune 500, but decent money. Pretty easy to explain. You could say that when I fell and it looked like I broke my leg, I didn't really break my leg. Which brings up another question, by the way. If you have regeneration and you break your leg, does it heal back in the right shape or does it heal broken? Because that could be unpleasant in a lot of different ways. Sure, it might not hurt anymore, but it'd be hard to walk when your leg is shaped like an L. So you'd have to re-break the bone, which also brings another question to mind. The pain factor. Obviously, regeneration, we assume, the standard thing is it still hurts. I mean, you get your skin burned off, sure it grows back, but you got your skin burned off, that can't feel good. Holes punched through you, limbs hacked up, things like that still hurts. So I would assume after a while, one of two things is going to happen if you have regeneration. Number one, you develop extremely high pain threshold. I mean, you pretty much have to. Or you become so gun shy because of all the pain you've experienced that you don't want to go near anything risky. Either way. Anyway, back to this. Number one, stuntman. Again, pretty easy to get away with, just explanation-wise, because remember, we want low-key, we want something that you could get away with in the real world without having to explain to people, how you survive, having a piece of rebar shoved through your throat. Right? People notice that sort of thing. Number two, you could always be a mercenary or soldier. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily even have to be that good at it, because if you can't die, I mean, that's a pretty big bonus to being in a war zone if you can't die. Again, though, money-wise, some of these contractors, Blackwater or whatever they're called now, you can make some pretty decent money. Again, not Fortune 500 stuff. But I think number one on the hit parade is something that's a variation of what I've used in previous videos, would be a magician, like a shop magician sort of guy, or even you could even say it was a magician performance artist, where you have knives punched through your body and yet you're whole again when the act is done. This is assuming you heal as fast as Wolverine, or one of the other characters out there with regeneration. Usually when you think of regeneration, you think of Wolverine. So, again, one would want a high pain threshold if you have a weekly act, or more so in Vegas that involves multiple knives punching holes through you, or something similar. I would think that you would earn that money pretty well. But pretty good money there. I mean, also looks pretty realistic. Going to be kind of hard for those other magicians to give away your secrets. It's like, oh no, it looked like somebody shoved rebar through him. The explanation the magicians are going to come up with is not be, well, he really had rebar shoved through him, but he got better. That's not going to be an explanation somebody jump for. So pretty low key, so easy to keep secret, which is a big plus. Since again, one of the things about if you had superpowers in the real world is you don't want people to know about it, and you want to be able to make a good living at it. You don't want people to know about it because you don't want to end up in a dissection lab in Washington or somewhere. Anyway, that's the best I could do for regeneration. It's actually getting a little harder to come up with some of the superpowers, since, as I said before, most superpowers are either I destroy you, super strength, or I blast you or something, or I can't be hurt, or your standard sort of movement powers. The outliers that aren't your standard superpowers, those are the ones I'm trying to go through, because I can't really come up with a unique and fascinating career which involves, flying through the air and being invulnerable and super strong. Anyway, that's it for regeneration. Please rate this video, even if you hate it. Please check out the links to my ebooks, my e-novels, which are down here. And I will catch you guys later.